Hello, lovely people. You're welcome to Vap Fashion's YouTube channel. I am Eunice. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how I made this beautiful crop top with bell sleeves you see right here on the mannequin. In my previous video, I showed us how to make the baggy trouser at the down part. This is a baggy trouser and it is also called a jumbo trouser. This trouser has elastic band on the waistline and it also has an adjustable rope with two side pockets. I already made a detailed video on how to cut and sew this lovely trouser you see right here. So if you haven't seen the video on how to make this trouser, I will drop the link to the video in the description box and also in the comment section. It's going to be the first comment you'll see there. So I'm going to pin it so that you can easily find it. So do well to watch the video and learn how to make this beautiful, comfortable and stylish jumbo trouser. So this video is on how to make the crop top we're pairing with this trouser. So without wasting time, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly click on the subscribe button to subscribe and ensure you put on your notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thank you, and let's get right into the video. I'll be making use of 1.5 yard of Adire fabric for this project. Adire comes in 45 inches in length, just like our normal Ankara fabric. So I'll be using 1.5 yard to achieve this top. So first I'm going to go ahead and fold the fabric we'll be using. That's for the front part. So to fold the fabric for the front part, I'm going to use the biggest measurement on the upper bodice, which is the bust measurement. The bust divided by 4 is 9 inches. I'll add 2 inches to give that ease effect, to create that roomy effect, and that's 11 inches. So plus my actual sewing allowance of 1 inch. So that's a total of 12 inches. So I'm going to place 12 inches on fold. I will need the same measurement for both the front and back. So 12 inches on fold for the front, 12 inches on fold for the back as well. And then the length of the top is 18 inches. That's the actual length of the crop top. It's going to stop on the belly button, which is 18 inches, plus 2 inches for my hemming allowance. So that's 20 inches. I'll add 1 inch so that I can come down on the shoulder line. So that I don't start exactly at the tip of the fabric. So that's about 21 inches. So the 21 inches is what I have cut out right now. So 21 inches in length and then 12 inches on fold. I'll also cut out the second piece, which will serve as the back side, okay, which will serve as the back piece. So I'll cut that out and we'll go ahead and start drafting. Okay, so I haven't placed the fabric on fold. Next, I'm going to mark the starting line, which is the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to place my tape and mark the chest line. And to get the chest line, divide the bust measurement by 6 plus 2.5 and you have your chest line. So this is our chest line. So next I'm going to mark the length of the top. This top is stopping on the belly button. So and from shoulder to belly button is 18 inches. So I'm marking exactly at 18 inches plus 2 inches for our hemming allowance. So I have a total of 20 inches. So here on the shoulder line, placing my tape from the folded part of the fabric, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 plus ½ inch, and that is 8 inches. Then I'm going to come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant, and then I'll also mark a neck width of 3 inches right here on the shoulder line. I'll use my straight ruler to connect the points just like this. So now we have our shoulder slant. So on the chest line, I'm going to enter the shoulder measurement divided by 2 as well, plus ½ inch, and that's it there. So I'll go ahead and connect using my straight ruler to the shoulder slant. Next, I'm going to get the midpoint from the shoulder slant to the chest line. Can you see where I placed my tape? From the shoulder slant to the chest line, and this is the midpoint. At that midpoint, I'll go in by ½ of an inch. And then on the chest line, I'm going to enter the bust measurement divided by 4. And this is it. So I'm going to connect these 3 points, the bust measurement and the midpoint of the armhole, and then to the shoulder slant. So I'm going to place my curve in a way that it touches the 3 points at the same time. So, and this is our armhole right now. So now on the chest line, I already entered the bust measurement divided by 4 there. So I'll go ahead and add extra 3 inches, okay? Remember I said 2 inches is for ease, and then 1 inch is my actual sewing allowance. So I'm going to measure everything I have there. I have 12 inches. So I'm going to take away 1 inch from that measurement and enter it on the waistline. So the waistline is going to be a bit narrower than the chest area. So I had a total of 12 inches. So I took away 1 inch. So I marked 11 inches on the full length of the top. So I'll go ahead and connect the points, okay? So now for the hem, that's the hemming allowance. Can you see how I'm folding it? This is because if you mark it straight, when you fold it, it won't be straight, okay? So it will not, you're going to have a shortage. So to avoid that shortage, that's why I folded it this way. I hope we saw what I did. Can you see? So I just opened it up a little so that when you fold, when you hem it, everything sits well. So you need to do that so that it comes out well. So the next thing I'm going to do is to mark the neck depth. I'm marking the back neck depth first. I'll be using a neck depth of 1 inch for the back and a neck width of 3 inches. And then for the front, I'll mark a neck depth of 3 inches, 3 by 3. The neck width is 3 inches, the neck depth is same 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect the points like this. So this front is going to have a V shape, okay? So to achieve that V shape, I already have a neck depth of 3 inches. So at that point where I have the neck depth of 3 inches, I'll go in by half of an inch. Can you see? And then I will come down by 2.5 inches. And see, from the neck depth of 3 inches, I went in by half of an inch and I came down by 2.5 inches. So I'll connect this V shape I have right here. You see that? So that's basically it for drafting the front. So the next for drafting the crop top. So next I'm just going to go up by half of an inch on the shoulder area. This is for joining the front and back. That's the same allowance for joining the front and back shoulders. So I'm going ahead to cut out the back neckline first, and then I'll cut on that half inch I added, that extra half inch I added, which is for joining the front and back. And then I'm also going ahead to cut the armhole, and then take out the excess I have here at the side. So this is basically it for the back, and you see. So then I'm going to separate the front from the back so that we can cut the front neckline. You see that? So I'll separate them from each other, and then we'll go ahead and cut the front neckline. So to cut the front neckline, I'm just going to follow the shape I have here. Can you see that? And then I'll go ahead and cut out the V shape. So this is what our front neckline looks like right now. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to cut the facing. So to cut the facing, I'm just going to place my fabric on fold and trace out the neckline. So I'm just cutting exactly what I have here. Facing is just a smaller version of your actual outfit, and this is the front facing. For the back facing, I'm also going to fold my fabric and trace out the neckline. Can you see? And just give it whatever shape you want to give it. So now I place the both facings together and I trimmed it so that they are equal on the shoulder area. So that's that about cutting the facing. So next I'm going to cut the sleeve. So to cut the sleeve, first I'm going to measure the armhole. And what I have here on the armhole is 11.5. So I'm going to fold my fabric in a way that I'll have up to that 11.5. And then I'm going to add some inches to it. So I'm folding about 14 inches. So 11.5 plus 2.5 inches. So that's about 14 inches. That's how wide I want the sleeve to be. So I'm going ahead to first from the down part. This is that part I'm marking now is the down part. So I first of all marked my hemming allowance. Okay, so from the hemming allowance, I'll go upwards to mark the length of the sleeve. So I'll be working with a sleeve length of 14 inches. Sorry, 16 inches, not 14 inches, 16 inches, because it's a 3/4 sleeve. So now this point I just marked is going to be our starting line. So from the starting line, I'll come down by the calf's height. And to get the calf's height, divide the bust measurement by 12 plus half inch, then you have the calf's height. So having marked the calf's height line, I'm just going to use my free hand to create this sleeve. I'm just going to draw out that inverted S shape. But remember that we already measured our armhole and we had 11.5 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to draw out this shape and then I will confirm that I have up to that 11.5 inches. Can you see? So I'll mark the 11.5 inches here at this point. So at the down part of the sleeve, I already said I want to have about 14 inches. So I'm going to mark 14 inches here. Then I'll go ahead and use my straight ruler to connect from the sleeve cap to the 14 inches I marked here. So you can you see the shape our sleeve has? So it's not straight, it's more like a bell sleeve, but this is not too wide because the fabric I'm using is just 1.5 yard. Okay, so this is what our sleeve looks like. You see? So this is how we're going to hem it, and we'll have it this way. You see that? So then the next thing I'm going to do is to trace out just like I did for the top. Can you see I haven't folded it? I'm just going to trim out that excess. So I folded the hemming allowance. This is so that when you hem the sleeve, everything will be balanced. So it is always good to fold it before trimming out the excess so that when you are done, you have everything sitting well. So I'm going to cut out the second sleeve and then we'll go ahead and start stitching. So to start stitching, here I've placed the facing on the right side of the back piece, the back facing on the right side of the back piece, and then I'm going to stitch around the neckline on ½ inch. And then for the front, I've also placed the facing on the right side and I'll stitch on ½ inch following the shape I have here. And you see, I'll stitch on ½ inch. Then I'll notch this neckline, give it a good press and join the front shoulders and back together. Then I'll show us the next thing to do. Okay, as you can see, I'm done joining the front and back shoulders together, and I've also stitched the sleeves to the armhole. I just place the sleeve right side of the sleeve facing right side of the top, and then I stitch the armhole around. So the next thing we're going to do is to shape this top. So to shape the top, remember I added just 1 inch for my sewing allowance. So I'm going to mark this 1 inch from the sleeve opening. I'll mark it here on the armhole and connect it, and then also mark it on the top. Okay, I'll stitch on 1 inch. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. I will as well stitch on 1 inch. After stitching on that 1 inch, I'll go ahead and hem the down part with the hemming allowance I added, and then give this top a very nice press. I'll use hemming gum to hold down the facing so that the facing is not coming out on the right side of the top. Okay, so I'll go do all this and then come back and show us what we have. So here is our top. Can you see what it looks like? And see, I've given it a very nice press, and I also went ahead to use my hemming gum to hold down the facing. So I pressed the facing down with hemming gum, and then I've also hemmed the down part. So this is what our top looks like. It looks very beautiful and it came out beautiful. So if you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something, I hope you have hit on the subscribe button already to subscribe. If you're yet to do so, please kindly hit on the subscribe button to subscribe, and ensure you put on your notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Please share this video, like this video, leave nice comments. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.